Shut up, Leo.
What's up?
I'm telling Leo to shut up because he's laughing at me.
Here. I want you to go up and down 3 times, but don't let the front foot hit the ground. When the 3rd time, you can make sure you keep your balance. It doesn't have to be fast. Stay. Mechanics the same. This is just trying to keep your center. This is just so you stay here. So that head stays perfectly still. Go. Better. Longer off. It's not easy. Good. Finish that backside. Make it 2 easily. Better. Just get that back leg over here. Perfect. Better. Take it. That was good. Now I just want this foot to end up here. It's the only thing I need. I want. Yeah, it literally should follow through here. I'll try to do my follow through. So it should literally be. Boom. Allows you to stay low in the zone and allows you to finish through the pitch. So A, low, you throw harder. B, help me keep your command. Because once you get here and you throw and keep that arm and keep that backside closed, and not allow fire through and roll through, you A, end up recoiling, which is gonna hurt your arm, and results of recoiling, your ball goes up. So when you go here, and it's just there, your body naturally does this, so your release point's off, not out front, so everything stays up. So when you start throwing off-speed pitches, everything's gonna stay up, it'll be a lot easier to hit. You don't want that. You want off-speed pitches in the dirt, you want your fastball to stay low. You finish, that ball stays there. There, exactly, good. All right. Now on this one, I want you to go through your normal motion, but when you push, I want that push to be as aggressive as hell. I want to just boom, and I want you to go somersault forward and get that backside through as hard as you can. Good. Had a little pop on it too, didn't it? And the ball goes exactly where you want it. Good job. Pull this one inside. Throw it away. Change it. Don't think about how you're throwing this. I want you to throw it the same way you just did those other ones. Gotta finish that backside and that pitch would have been there. Good, good. All right, fastball side. I think you actually benefit from throwing off the third base side of the rubber just because of how you throw. Because you're over here, you're throwing, and when you throw, naturally your ball goes to the outside corner. So if you're already cheating to that side, the ball, if you throw the ball inside, when you try to throw the ball inside, it's gonna end up on the outside corner. Try to throw the ball outside, it's gonna end up on the lefty's batting side. So sit on this side. So naturally your straight line sits inside, but the way you fall naturally will take you to the outside corner, so you can throw it easy. Outside. Good. And there's two reasons for that. One of them being because you're more straight over the top, so your line's gonna stay a lot straighter. And then as you come through and you finish, that ball's gonna go to the outside corner. For me, I was on the first base side because I was high at 3/4 arm front. So when I threw, everything I did ran. So when I needed to flatten the ball out, I could get downhill and do it to the outside corner, but everything else I threw did this. So that's why. Just throw off that side, I think it'll help you out. Good, good. I want you to throw one of the hardest pitches as hard as you throw. Up and in on the right hand back. Up, right on his hands. Perfect. Hey, and the fact that you fell actually means you finished. Your backside just didn't come over as slow. I'm gonna go about 3 more and change it. Yeah. That pitch you're going to slip it down. You just got to trust it. That's one of those pitches you just got to go for it. If you try to slow it down, it's going to stay up. If you try to over-pronate, your ball's going to spike. If you try to overdo this pitch at all, it's going to not do what you want it to. With this, you just have to trust it and just throw it. Throw it, just trust your mechanics. There you go. That's it. It'll be a fastball on the inside corner. Good, okay, good. All right, you want the outside. Take a break. Good. Just finish this off. Got 3. Good. Now just finish and get that lower. I want you to try, I know this square is smaller than normal. I want you to hit that bottom of the square. It's gonna look like it's going down too much, but that's a strike. Perfect. Good. Same thing. Do one more time. Good. Take these up.
I remember one time where he would always call strikes right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was pitching, like I knew that he was doing that, so I always did that.
I will tell you one thing. I think especially the change is power. Okay. I'm average height straight. His pitch, all the right hand fastball. The pitch is right here. And right here on the place is a stress. In high school, that is a strike, and that's the pitch that any pitching coach will ever ask you to add to the ball constantly. Yes, but if you can make this pitch in high school, A, you'll be successful, and B, you'll be able to finish. If you can throw this pitch and then have a secondary back it up, you can use it. Yeah, don't have to do anything fancy. If they're going to give you that low and away pitch, just take advantage of it. Which I want you to throw anyways. All right, 5 changeups. Good. That's one of those pitches you have to worry about finishing even more because you want that to stay low. Good. The only thing that was actually a really good pitch. The only thing I'm seeing mechanically, and I don't want to necessarily say it's wrong because I don't think it is, because if you finish with your backside like I want you to, it's not going to be a bad thing. But if you don't finish, it will hurt your arm in a heartbeat. Is when you come through, you take your step, you start here, right? Normally, when you stay in that same line, which is perfectly okay. But that leaves your back hip offset from your front side. And so if you don't finish, that back hip's gonna stay in line and stay closed off. And when you stay closed off, it's all shoulder at that point. Shoulder and elbow is all you have. So if you wanna throw this way, which I think is comfortable and effective for you, you have to finish. Because if you don't, once you start going harder, you will hurt yourself. Because that was one of my biggest problems. Is when you have that off center here, you get here, just trying to do this, it's all front shoulder, unless you're laboring from one to two. So finish that backside, almost aggressively, almost try to overthink about it. Not almost overthink about that, but overdo it. So when you throw, almost imagine you're just trying to get that leg up as high as you can. Because that'll force everything to stay down. Since you sit up tall, that'll force everything to stay down, and it'll actually help with your movement too, when you start throwing everything down. His shoulder.
Like, not like forward, but like
He strained his rotator cuff already.
Yeah, and he's gonna
And he's 10.
Yeah, and he's gonna play for like injuries. And then yesterday we did conditioning and we posted don't do push-ups because of his arm and it still hurt.
Yeah, you're never gonna put it in. Now just finish your back. Your back itself goes here, and I need you to come through. With that leg, as that leg comes through, the back comes with it. Good. The only thing there is you gotta stay in control of your front side shoulder. That's just your gloves. It's good here. You kind of got all over the place. That pitch wasn't terribly good spike. You kind of got like here and around and then back. I want you to get out front, just come to your glove. It's not necessarily a pull, it's more of just a guidance. You'll see guys in the pros that are throwing that don't finish their back all the way, that throw hard and they're accurate. A lot of guys that can do that is because of how tall they are. When you get guys like me that were a little bit shorter, we have to over-exaggerate that because we gotta create the downhill. Because those guys that are tall, the downhill naturally happens. If you're a little bit shorter, like I'm not saying you're short, you're tall for your age, but like as for right now, you have to create the downhill angle. And so that's what the back does. You need that back leg that helps create that.
This one feels smaller.
It's not. Ball's moving, you're just leaving it go. That's just where you gotta finish with your arm and trust that. You'll hear guys talk about, like on TV, or even I talk about it sometimes too, is you want every pitch to come out of the same hole. So when you throw, every pitch you throw, no matter what it is, unless it's a curveball or something that comes out of it, comes into a hole right here. And then once it gets to about 3/4 to the plate, that's when it moves different directions. That's what I'm talking about when I want you to trust that changeup and just throw it. Because if you don't just throw it, it's going to come out of a different slot, it's going to come out of a different hole, come to the plate, so you can read the hell out of it. And that's where you got to hit the ball on top of that changeup. If you throw that ball at the fastball, they think it's a fastball, so it dives, and just changes speed on them, you're screwed. So if you keep everything coming out of that same spot, you'll be successful with it.
But if they know how to hit a changeup, then
Well, if they know how to hit a changeup, they hit a good pitch, you tip your cap to them. But if you baby it, leave it up, and give them BP fastball basically over the middle of the plate, and they take you dead center 450, that's on you. But if you do your job and flick one out, you get one out on an outside corner, and they just flick it and do some damage with it, it's part of it. It's part of the game. Good. Just finish. You need to be able to finish your shortening your stride. Just keep everything the same. There it is, right there. Perfect. Is that a changeup? That was sexy. All right, give me a 2-seam fastball to the inside corner. All right. Gotta finish. Gotta finish. You gotta trust everything you throw. You gotta tell yourself, I can do this. Just do it. Good. 4-seam on the outside corner. Not bad. I get it low on that. That's fine. That's money. One more time. Actually, I want you to hit the same spot as the second one.
I'm kind of really good to do it for
Well, that's technically a 2-seam. It's a 4-seam grip. 2-seam movement is what it'll actually create. So I can show you this little trick. If you put your fingers right there, the ball will come off that finger last. And so when you do that, it'll come off that seam and it'll flick itself. It'll kind of do that. So if you can teach yourself how to throw that ball in the white line of that left-handed batter's box and move that back inside on a righty to the outside corner, it'd be deadly. Now do it on the outside corner. Just throw it. Not bad. Go inside, blow it inside. Fight yourself and get that pitch. That's going to be a pitch you're going to struggle to throw. Trust it. You're good. Just throw it. That's all it is. Just throw it like how you normally grip it. Right there. You see how that ball kind of did this just a little bit at the end? That's all it is. All it takes to make a curl. All right. Next 4 pitches go outside, inside, outside, inside. You can do whatever. You go 4, 2-seam, however you want. Good. Out. Well done. That mechanically looks really well. Good. Inside. It's actually a great pitch. All right, 2 change-ups, and you're going to give me 3 goes. Hey, you threw it like I wanted you to. That's going to happen. Let me straighten this up. Spiking a change is going to happen. That's a pitcher most likely to spike just because how many fingers are on the ball. Damn good pitch. Last one. You're done. On that one, you're done.